what would happen if you get a credit card with a sign-up bonus of maybe $750 and all you have to do is spend $3,000 in the first 90 days? So what happens if you go to Best Buy, you buy a laptop for $3,000, or you go to Gucci and buy some glasses for maybe $3,000 also? What happens if you get the sign-up bonus like that, you go on your vacation, you redeem the points, you spend the money, you do whatever you want to do, then you come back, you return the laptop, you return the glasses. Well, what happens with the points? You already used them, so are they still valid? Do you have to return the money? What happens then? And by the way, guys, that's not an original question. I actually got the idea from one of you guys in the comments down below, and one of you guys actually DM'd me this question on Instagram. So if you're not following me there, follow me at TommyBryson, because I'm always answering questions over there. So that's why in this video, I actually decided to talk about 9 different ways where you can actually forfeit your points, and also talk about a few do's and don'ts when it comes to reward points, and things that you should do and things that you shouldn't do, just in case you don't want to lose your points. So if you want to find out all that information and also find out the answer to that first question, make sure you watch till the end, because I'm going to be answering everything in this video. Now guys, if you don't know me, my name is TommyBryson. I'm an accountant and I've been practicing personal finance for the past 4 years now. And on top of that, I love credit cards, and I'm always trying to figure out different ways to actually take advantage of points and the credit cards and making sure I'm getting that sign up bonus, probably just like you are. And on top of that, that's probably why I was able to actually get away with paying no interest for the past 2 years and balances of over $15,000 on 5 different credit cards. If you want a video on that, let me know in the comments down below, and comment, Tommy, make a video on how I can get away with paying no interest and still have my credit score doing very, very well. Now guys, I do post videos on this channel every single day. Yes, you heard me right, every single day. So make sure you subscribe. When we do subscribe, hit the notification bell, so whenever I upload a video about making money, credit cards, or credit card churning, or whatever it is out there that they didn't teach you in school because it wasn't important enough, you actually be the first one to actually get notified and watch the video before anyone else. And on top of that, guys, we have a little tradition on the channel where before the video starts, I always ask you guys one question, have you guys answer it, and then after the video, you can actually respond to your own question now that you have the answer. So here's the question. Question number 1 is this. In the beginning, I actually gave you guys a scenario. What would happen if you buy items, use the reward points, go on vacation, do whatever you want with them, and then you come back and you actually return the product? What would happen then? So comment down below and let me know, what do you think is going to happen? Are you going to have to return the points, the money? What are you going to have to do? Or are they going to close your account automatically? Let me know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen. So comment, Tommy, this is going to happen. Comment, this is going to happen. Let me know before the video actually starts. And even if you know the answer, or you think you know the answer, comment down below and let me know. And then after the video, I'll come back and I'll reply to you guys, and then we can see if you were right, or if you were wrong, or if you were almost right. So let's get right into the video, guys. But before we actually start, what we're gonna do is this, guys. I'm actually gonna call customer service for a credit card themselves, and I'm gonna ask them all the questions that you're probably thinking in your head, and you're gonna get all the information straight from the horse's mouth. And then after that, I'm going to tell you guys a few more tips that they probably won't tell you, because they probably don't want to get in trouble and then tell you too much. So I'm going to be answering all those questions right after. And I'm going to tell you 9 ways you can actually lose your points after this part of the video right now. So let's call customer service and ask them all the different ways you can actually lose your points, just so you guys can hear the information straight from the horse's mouth. So let's call them right now.
Hello, this is Lucius Sweet Chase. May I have your name, please?
Hey, hi, how you doing? My name is TommyBryson.
How can I help you?
Hey, I'm just calling in because I saw some offers. What's your name, by the way? I didn't get it, sorry.
Lucius.
Lucius, nice to meet you, Lucius. So I'm calling in to ask you a few questions, Lucius, and if you don't mind me asking, for example, I did notice online you guys have like a promotion for another card, and it's like $150 like sign up bonus if you spend, I think, like $1,000. So I just have a few questions about rewards and how they actually work, if that's fine with you.
Oh, sure. And which card are we talking about?
I think it's like another version of this Chase Unlimited.
What about your Freedom card right now?
Okay, so for example, how do the points actually work? Like, how much are they valued, and how can I make sure like like those points never go away or they expire or anything like that?
Thank you for taking interest on how you can earn, if there's expiration, and how you can redeem it. So yeah, first is no expiration on your points.
Okay.
So you don't need to worry.
Okay, and you said there's no expiration to the points, but for example, are there any ways that that I can lose the points?
Actually, the only thing I can think of is refunds. If ever you have refunds for merchants, that's the only thing that you'll lose points.
Okay, so for example, if I for example, that unlimited card that has like a $150 sign up bonus or whatever it is, if I were to buy like a expensive camera, meet the minimum spend, like maybe like $1,000, and then you guys give me the $150 sign up bonus, and then I use the camera or whatever, and then it turns out after I spend the $150 bonus, I didn't really like the camera so much, and then I return it. What would happen if I already spent the points and I return the item?
Well, you'll have a negative points amount, Mr. Bryson.
Okay.
So if ever you return the item, you've already used the points, so you may not be able to accumulate points for the meantime up until those points will be used, paid up, basically.
Okay.
So that's when you start using your card again.
Okay. So it sounds like what it sounds like is like, Lucius, that if that does happen in any situation, like you guys would basically take the currency from the points factor, but not from the actual dollar balance of the credit card. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, the reason I'm really asking is because, for example, I see a whole bunch of cards that have like a $750 bonus, and if that person, if for example my friend were to buy something really expensive and then go on like on a vacation with that $750 bonus and then come back and then just return the product, then he would just have a negative $750 on the points factor, but not on his actual balance.
Correct. On the points factor, because basically, whenever you do refund something on your card, basically you'll be getting back your available credit, right?
Yeah.
That's normally how it works.
Yeah.
For points, basically we just need to separate it to avoid confusion. So let's say you earn 1,000 points. And for that 1,000 points, basically, let's say you purchase $1,000 also.
Yeah.
So if ever you return that $1,000, you'll be getting that like money back for available credit.
Yeah.
But for points, that would mean you'll have a negative 1,000 points if ever you've used or redeemed that points already.
Okay. Okay. I understand. So it's like
up until so when you use your card again, you may not be able to earn points because of that negative points.
okay. So yeah. Okay. So what it sounds like is you guys keep everything separate just to avoid any confusion.
Correct.
Okay. Awesome. And for example, what would happen? Are you guys able, for example, if you guys might be offering 1.5 now, but in the future, if you guys do change and you guys say like, well, we're not gonna offer that anymore, we're gonna offer like maybe 1%, would I be locked into that 1.5 since I'm like an older customer, or would that entire thing change for everyone instantly? And the value of my points, would it change also if you guys do decide to like change the value of the points for like new customers and stuff like that? Do the old customers still get the privilege to stick to the deal that they actually got in the beginning?
Well, normally if there will be like change in terms like that, Mr. Bryson, we would send you a letter first, inform you about the changes. And we'll ask you if ever you do decide to accept the change or not. Normally, you will receive it 60 days prior. The actual change would be effective. So if you do decide to accept the change, then unfortunately, anything new on that effectivity date of that change will take place.
Okay.
But if ever you do decide not to proceed, then that would mean that by not accepting the terms, also would be terminating the account or closing it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Okay. And last question. For example, every now and then, like especially on Christmas, I'm always buying like gift cards for my nephews and for my wife and all that stuff. I don't know if this is like a rumor, if it's like a hoax or a legend. Like, can I buy gift cards like for my family members with a credit card?
With regards to that is a tricky question, Mr. Bryson, because it's with the merchant. That if they accept credit cards, then that's fine.
Okay.
And we will be able to have it posted on your card. So whatever you use your card with, it's really up to the merchant.
Okay. So what it sounds like is you what it sounds like is you guys allow everything, but it's always up to the merchant and whether if they choose to allow credit card as a payment form or not.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. And what are some of the things that can because I'm just trying to make sure everything I follow all the rules. What are some of the things that can possibly make me forfeit my points? Like for example, what if I like miss some payments? Like what can happen that can make me, for example, like forfeit my points in any situation?
Actually, nothing, Mr. Bryson, because your points will remain the same. It's separate, as I mentioned. It's separate.
Yeah.
The only thing though is if you close the account 30 days from the closing date, you'll be able to redeem your points. If you will not be able to redeem it, then it's gone.
Okay.
But as long as the account is active, your points will remain.
Okay. Okay. All right. Awesome. Lucius, you've done a great job. Thank you for answering all my questions. It was just like a quick call just to make sure everything was ready, because me and my wife are planning to like upgrade to some cars with sign up bonuses. So we really wanted to make sure like these points and these rewards are actually like real, and that they're not just like, oh, just like get little gimmicks, but you really clarified everything. So I really appreciate that.
You're very much welcome, Mr. Bryson, and thank you also for giving me the opportunity to explain everything for you. So if there's nothing else, you do have one for you, okay?
So the first thing is this. I love Chase customer service. I just don't love their savings accounts rates. But I do love their customer service because they're available 24/7, and it's around 10 p.m. here in New York. And here's the thing, guys. I do want to clarify a few things, and here are the do's and don'ts when it comes to this entire credit card, entire game. But the first thing I do want to say is this, okay? Lucius is not really right when it comes to forfeiting your points. You can forfeit your points if a few factors do come into account. For example, I'm going to read this off the entire, this is why it's so important you read the fine print, because sometimes employees don't even read the fine print, so they don't even know what they're talking about sometimes. But I'm going to explain this just so you guys can actually understand how this works. And yes, I'm going to get to the entire... Oh, I can't believe you actually said that. I'm going to get to the entire thing when you can actually go on vacation, do whatever you want, and then just forfeit the points factor, but not your actual balance. I'm going to talk about that later, so just give me a second or two. Let me explain this first. The first thing is this. Okay, so this entire thing when it comes to losing and forfeiting points, I'm not making this stuff up. I didn't just search it online. I actually found it on the Chase agreement page. If you're wondering what that is, I have a link in the description down below that takes you to the Chase agreement page, and it tells you every single ounce of way that you can actually forfeit your points. So the first way is this. There's a few ones, so I just want to break them down here so you guys can actually understand and not fall for those little tricks. So the first way is this. By buying or selling your points. Yes, there is a way you can buy points. Yes, there is a way you can actually sell points. For example, if your friend has a whole bunch of points, well, this is a little different, because he's your friend. But if your friend has a whole bunch of points and you want to, for example, he has $1,000 worth of points and he wants some cash and he's going to redeem them for $500, and you tell him, hey, I'll give you $750. You can actually get the points like that. For example, if you have a ton of points, you can sell them like that also. That's not allowed. You can't do that. You can't do that. If you do that, they can actually take away your points and close your account ASAP. But I don't see a way how they can actually find out unless you're calling the phone and saying, like, hey, I'm going to give away these points, okay? So just make sure you guys are aware of that. Unless you do that, they won't really find out, so just keep that in mind. The second way is to actually move your points somewhere that they don't accept it, or to a third party. For example, if you're moving your points to somewhere else, another account, in a tricky method, they can actually, close your entire account because of that, because you're supposed to use it with Chase, redeem it with Chase, and just do the business with Chase. So just be very careful when it comes to that. If you hear anybody telling you, hey, I'll take your points, just redeem them through here, don't do that. Be very careful. If they catch you, they will take your points away. Just keep that in mind. Now, the third way you can actually forfeit your points, and I will go more into detail on this entire factor later on in the video, but it is by only opening credit cards for the sole purpose of getting the points and then using the points, but not using the credit card any longer. If they catch you doing that stuff, they can actually take away your points, close your account, and then they might put you on that 424 rule, and then you might not be able to open another credit card for the next 24 months. So just keep that in mind when it comes to that. So that's all I wanted to really clarify when it comes to a little few ways you can actually forfeit your points, but I will be clarifying a whole bunch more later on in the video. But for now, let me tell you the do's and don'ts when it comes to credit card points. Now, the first don't is this. I see a lot of people out there that they justify carrying a balance for buying an expensive product that they can't afford, and they say, Tommy, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna pay $3,000 for this laptop. Yes, but I'm gonna get $750 either way, and either way I can just pay it off in a year or so, and I'll be done with it, and I still got the points, and I still made some money. And the reality is this, guys, that's not true at all, because in reality, if you're paying $3,000 and you're paying like 30% interest, you're gonna pay the credit card around $900 in interest that year, and you only made $750. So it doesn't really make sense, and it doesn't add up. So don't do that, not one bit. Because guys, look at this. This is how I like to think of it, just so you can get it out your head and never do this again. If you carry a balance and the credit card is charging you 30% and the SP 500 pays you 7% on your investment every single year on average for the past 100 years, well, from the $1,000 investment, the SP 500 is going to pay you $70, but the credit card is going to charge you from $1,000, $300 every single year. So you literally have to almost 5 times, 6 times your investment return just so you can keep up with the credit card. And last time I checked, you're not Warren Buffett. So the possibility of you being able to do that is like very slim. So that's why I never do that, because I myself, I'm not Warren Buffett either. So I don't do that. I just don't carry a balance. I only buy things I can afford. And if I can't afford it, then I don't buy it until I can afford it. Now, the second don't is this. I know a lot of people out there that they say, well, you know, I'm going to use this credit card and I'm going to get $750. Well, I'm going to get a second one, a third one, a fourth one, a fifth one. And they get all these cards all of a sudden and they max out the entire like 524 rule. Now they have 5 cards and now they have to spend 5 times 3 is 15. Now they have to spend $15,000 in the first 3 months. And they're like, what do I do? And then next thing you know, they make a mistake and now they're stuck in credit card debt. So what I recommend is this. If you have a credit card out there that has this massive bonus, well, exploit that one, get the bonus, and then move on to the next one after you're done with that one. Here's why. Credit cards might tell you, Tommy, you know, this entire sign-up bonus is only going to last 1 more year or 6 more months or like 3 more days. So you better get it now while you still can because it's hot and it's ready. Well, guys, that's all marketing. Don't fall for it, because in reality, all you have to do is use a VPN or incognito mode, and you just go back to the website and you access it. And guess what happens? You get the sign-up bonus either way because they stick around. And by the way, guys, credit cards are not going to stop doing this, because guess what? There's competition. Everyone is trying to get to your business, so they're going to keep offering more and more money every single year. So don't think that if you miss it on this card, there's not going to be another card right around the corner. So please, please, please don't try to get 5 cards at once, 10 cards at once, and then be just like, oh my gosh, I have to spend $30,000. Don't do that, because you're going to make a mistake. So just stick with the one, then graduate, keep going and going and going, and from there, and you keep going. But don't try to do it all at once. It doesn't work, and often you make mistakes and they cost you a lot of money. So don't do it. Now, the third thing is this. I did say I'm going to talk about do's and don'ts, and I'm only going to talk about one do, and the do is, well, read the fine print. Always, always, always read the fine print when it comes to credit card agreements, when it comes to any agreement out there, because you never know what might happen, because they might tell you, well, you know, we're going to offer you this. And then 3 months later, they change the entire thing. And now you're like, oh my gosh, what happened to my points? You know, so just make sure you know what you're actually signing up for. You might say, Tommy, the odds of that happening are 1 in a million. In reality, no. I think it was like Spirit Away credit card, something like that. They actually changed the entire like framework of how the points actually get redeemed. So instead of you like getting like that 1 cent, well, they lowered it by around 16%. So in reality, you got 16% less of the points. So don't quote me on that. Just read some of the articles down below, because I have an article quoting that exact same thing. But that's what happened. It could change at any moment. And on top of that, I just remembered this. Remember when what's his name? Lucius said you know, you can't expire the points. They never expire. They're always gonna be there. In reality, no, that's not true. If you have, well, with Chase it's kind of true, but a lot of people out there, they have stored credit cards like Best Buy, TJ Maxx, Macy's. I hate those credit cards because, well, the APR is too high and it doesn't really make any sense, and it forces you to spend money that you don't need to spend. So I don't like that at all. So, but on some of those cards, those points do expire. So just make sure you understand that, because not all credit cards have the same policies. So just keep that in mind. That's why it's so important you read the fine print. Well, you don't really have to read the fine print. You just have to come to my channel and then I'll review it and then you know all the information. But if it's not on my channel, just comment down below a credit card. I'll review it, and then that way you don't have to read the fine print. I'll do all the work, okay? I'll do all the work. Don't worry about it. So far, guys, before I continue on and I tell you the 9 ways you actually forfeit your points, let me know in the comments down below if all this information is making sense to you. So comment down, yes, Tommy, it makes sense. Or comment down, no, Tommy, it doesn't make any sense. You need to make another video on this. So comment down below and let me know, because that way I can either make another video on it, or I can just be like, okay, they understand. I don't need to make another video about this. So here are the 9 ways you can actually forfeit your points. Number 1, the first thing is this. I already said this, but I just want to make sure you understand this. So get your pen and paper and write these things down so you never make these mistakes. 1, at any moment, they do have the right to switch up the entire program, and they can if they want to. So just be careful. If you're signing up for something, make sure you take advantage of it instantly, so you don't be a victim of, hey, well, points are valued 16% less, so now you can't get the flight that you wanted. It doesn't work like that anymore, sir. If you don't like it, then we cancel it. Then that's it, and that's how it works. And remember, Lucius did say they'll give you a 60-day notice, but if you don't like it, well, you know, you cancel the account, you forfeit it, that's it, gone, period. Okay, so just make sure you understand that at any moment they can switch it up on you, and then just leave you in like midair, just floating around like, oh my gosh, what's going on with my points, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, the second way is this. If you do return an item, you will have to give the points back. And now, I'm laughing like crazy because one of you guys actually DM me. You know who you are. You DM me, you ask me this question, and you kind of just like stump me. You're like, wait, well, what? What happens then, you know? And we got the answer. Basically, what happens is this. Please don't risk it. Well, kind of risk it if you want to risk it, but here's my thing. From my understanding, how it works is like this. If you go out and you have to spend $3,000 on an item, and for example, you spend that $3,000, so you hit your minimum spend and you get back $750 from them, and you have those points now. Well, before they actually take away the points when you actually return the item, well, just redeem the points for cash, get the cash back, or go on that flight, go on that vacation, and then when you come back, just return the item because you have like 90 days to actually return an Apple product, I think, or maybe like 30 days. Well, just return it, and when you return it, then they take away the points, but it doesn't matter because the only thing you actually wanted was to get the sign-up bonus. So you might spend the rest of your life trying to get that positive rewards points, but in actuality, you only signed up to get the bonus anyway, so once you got it, you can actually just be like, okay, whatever, and that won't affect your credit because what it sounds to me is like this, okay? You will give up the points factor, but you still can use the credit card, and you don't have to close it down because you can just keep using it, keep it active, and then boom, you're good to go. And that's actually a very good, neat little tip that I actually just found out on this channel live with you guys. That's why I like making these videos because I'm always learning new things. So let me know in the comments down below. Did you know you can actually do that? Did you know you can do that? Because I didn't know. So imagine this. Imagine you go, you get the sign up bonus, you use it, you buy whatever you want to buy, and then you return it, and then you still get to keep the points, and it just goes negative. Who cares? You already got the money. You already went on vacation. You already got the cash. It doesn't matter. So comment down below. Let me know if that's worth it for you or if it's not worth it, okay? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, the third way that he didn't mention, if you do make several late payments or you stop paying your account, they can actually close your account immediately, thus you forfeit your points. He didn't say this. They say, oh, you know, we're going to give you 60 days to actually tell you ahead of time. In reality, if you don't make any payments, they have all the right to take away your points. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you're paying the account. And if you're following what I'm saying in this video, you'll never make a late payment because you're not carrying a balance, okay? You're not carrying a balance, so that won't happen to you. So don't even worry about it. But if you are, just make sure you're paying it because you can actually forfeit the points by not paying it. The fourth way you can actually forfeit your account is by having an inactive account. So for example, if I decide to stop using this credit card like at all, or just like stop using it whatsoever, they can actually take away the entire credit card, say like it's inactive, we're gonna close the accounts, and you forfeit your points like this. So this is what I recommend. This is a fact, by the way. It's not my opinion. You can actually use the card at least once every 3 months and just pay it right back. So, for example, go to Starbucks, like buy a coffee or whatever you want to buy. I don't drink coffee, by the way, but buy whatever you want to buy, and then just pay it back that same day, and then it stays active. So, literally, you only have to use the card like maybe 4 times a year, and you get to keep it active. And on top of that, you get to build a little credit history on top of that. So, just keep that in mind. So, make sure you're using the card and it doesn't go inactive because if it closes your accounts, it will ding your credit just a little bit also. So it's not just the points, but it will ding your credit also. The fifth way you can actually forfeit your points. Guys, I'm always talking about these like big credit cards like Chase, like BOA, like American Express, like all this stuff. But in reality, remember, a lot of people out there, they have stored credit cards, TJ Maxx, Best Buy, Apple, like all this stuff, okay? So here's my thing. Those credit cards, sometimes the points can actually expire. If you don't know the answer to this question, call them and ask them, hey, do my points expire? Yes, they do. Okay, I want to use them right away. That's the answer. It's always going to be the answer. So just find out if they do expire. Make sure you use your points as soon as possible. But for example, with these like very big credit cards like Chase or whatever, Sapphire, whatever you want to call it, well, they don't expire at all because these companies know like, hey, you know, we don't want the points to expire because then people won't trust us, and then that's entire like liability. Now the sixth one is actually pretty obvious, okay? If you close the account, then obviously you forfeit the points, but he did say that if you close the account, you have 30 days to actually redeem the points before they actually take it away. So there's that. So if you close the account, just make sure you take the points away, because imagine you've been using the card for the whole year. You haven't used the points either. Then you close the account because it doesn't make any sense anymore for you, and then you forfeit the points. So just make sure you take the points out before you close the account. or after you close the accounts, but 30 days prior. Now, the 8th way is not really a way you can actually forfeit your points, but it is a way that you technically can actually forfeit your points by having the credit card benefit so much from you to the point where they're basically your points mean nothing. Okay, let me explain, by the way, because this doesn't make any sense, but basically, if you don't return an item, you can basically lose your points. Now, what I mean is this, okay? For example, if you buy this laptop and you can't afford it and it costs $3,000 and it's like, oh my gosh, I just bought this laptop, but I don't want to forfeit my points. I just want to keep my points. Well, if you do that and you let the credit card make $900 from you and they're giving you $750 worth of points, well, it doesn't really add up. So if you can't afford an item, just return it. Don't worry about the points, okay? There'll be another offer out there. And if you can get away with it, just like, redeem the points and then just go negative on the points and then you can figure it out later. But don't keep an item and pay the credit card's interest just so you can keep the points. Guys, points don't matter. Like, literally, points are just a plus. And points are only 1 cent of every dollar. So imagine that. Imagine you're negotiating to keep paying interest when you're only really getting 1 cent per dollar. It's not smart business, okay? So don't do that. Just return the item if you can't afford it. Now, the 8th way you can actually forfeit your points is if you try to play the game way too hard and you try to play the credit card companies and they catch you trying to play them, okay? So what I mean by this is, if you try to do credit card churning and they catch you doing it, well, they're going to close your accounts and you will forfeit all your points. If you try to do manufacturer spending, which I do have a video on that, I have to do it like in a very safe way. I'm going to link it down below, so don't worry, you can just search it after. But if you actually want to do that and they catch you because you didn't do it smart enough, well, they can actually take away your points instantly and close your account also. And probably put you like on a blacklist or something. So just be careful with that. So for example, remember when I asked the guy, for example, hey, what happens if you buy gift cards? Like he says, okay, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just make sure the merchant accepts it. Well, if they find out why you're really buying gift cards, they can actually take away your account. So just make sure you know what you're doing. And if this doesn't make any sense what I'm saying right now, make sure you watch my manufacturer spending video so you can actually find out how you can get away with spending money to get the minimum spend and then just getting the money right back to the credit card without really spending any money whatsoever or paying any interest at all. Now, the 9th and final way is, hey, if you passed away, well, obviously you can't keep the points. Tommy, I knew you were going to say that. Well, you know I was going to say this. I just had to include it because it is a way it can happen. So I just want to put it out there. But I do want to tell you this. If at any point you do pass away, because these things happen, it's fine, it's normal, it's life. If this does happen to you, you don't have to worry. I think Chase, well, I don't think so. I read the entire fine print, so I know this. Chase has a policy that if you do pass away and they find out, they automatically redeem the points for cash and put it into your account. So then whoever's controlling your account after you pass away, they can just take the cash, so don't worry about that. You're completely safe with that. But in reality, you don't really get the points because you're not here anymore. And the other person actually gets the point. So just keep that in mind. Don't think you're going to take the points to the grave. No, it doesn't work like that. So don't try to do that at all. Well, you can't do it. So yeah. So guys, comment down below before I actually tell you my final thoughts. Out of these 9 ways to actually forfeit your points, which one was the most surprising to you? For me personally, it was the one that talked about the entire returns factor, because you can return an item and it'll go negative on the point side, but you still got the sign-up bonus. I don't think anyone on YouTube knows about that because I think it's the first time I ever really heard about that. Let me know in the comments down below if it's the first time and which one was the most surprising for you. So now that you commented, here are my final thoughts, okay? A lot of these questions came from people that are trying to do the entire credit card churning, get the bonuses, and just keep the points and then dip right after. Here's my thing, guys. If you can't meet the minimum spend and you're trying to do this entire thing, do manufacturer spend. And if you don't know what that is, watch my video. I linked it down below. You can actually do it without having the money. Just spend the money, give it right back in a very smart way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the video. Second, if you can't meet the spend whatsoever, then don't do it until you can. Third, if you can meet the spend, then meet the spend by spending the average amount of money you spend on a daily basis. Don't go overboard just trying to get points. Don't justify buying items that you can't afford to buy and get the points. It doesn't make any sense. And by the way, guys, these glasses that cost $3,000, I literally got them I think on Amazon for $8, okay? They're not $3,000 glasses. So I don't want you guys to think, oh my gosh, she gets $3,000 glasses. Is it crazy? No, it's not true. These are my glasses that I put on whenever I'm doing my editing work because it takes away the lights and stuff from the editing and it protects my eyes. So just keep that in mind. I'm not spending $3,000 on glasses. I would never do that. And guys, comment down below before the video ends. Let me know, do you think it's fair that credit cards at any point can literally change their entire policy and leave you in midair? Do you think that's fair? Do you think it's fair that they might offer you 2 points today, 3 points the next day, 3 times on this, and then all of a sudden, hey, we're switching it up. Now you're not worth anything. Your points suck. They're not valid anymore. Okay, we're taking them away. Do you think that's fair? Me personally, I don't think it's fair. I think they should do something based on like time you've been there. So for example, if you started out and you got in there when they were offering 3 times the points, well, you should be able to stay there. Well, in reality, I get why they would do that because they want to get you in. Once you're in, and that's it. You're not going to come out. But I wish they would do something like that where it would be permanent, like forever. That would be very cool. Now guys, as always, thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, go ahead and like the video. Let me know in the comments down below why you liked it so I can keep making content that you actually like. If you dislike the video, let me know in the comments down below why you dislike it. And also dislike the video. And also like the video if you like the video. That's how I know you liked it. And it also helps the YouTube algorithm a bunch. And it helps the channel out a bunch. So let me know in the comments down below. If you dislike it, why you dislike it so I can keep improving every single day. If you like it, let me know why you like it so I can keep making more videos that you like. And on top of that, guys, make sure you subscribe because I post videos every single day. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get updated and notified every single time I post a new video on making money, credit cards, and all that little stuff that no one's telling you on YouTube. I'm pretty sure. Comment down below if that was your first time that you actually heard about the entire negative points thing. I never heard about that. Maybe you have, but I haven't. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm very interested to actually find out. And guys, as always, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, uno a uno, and you want to share more ideas with me or ask me questions, just DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson, and I'll talk to you guys through there. I'll see you guys next time in my next video. Thanks for watching, and peace.
You've got to start at the bottom if you're ever gonna reach the top. You've gotta watch all the